Marcus Aurelius was respected more for his relentless drive than for his military might. Though his troops respected him, it was not only his clever acumen that made him unbeatable, it was his tireless, Stoic-inspired will. Fortune's fickle nature did not affect him, nor did the difficulties associated with running a conflict-ridden empire. With his resolute will, his thoughts were a fort. Though armies may be vanquished, the type of drive Marcus had was unstoppable. It was a motivation based on Stoic discipline, intention, and endurance, qualities which no would-be enemy could subvert or diminish. But what was it about his motivation that made it more feared than his vast empire? How did this inner drive, this relentless focus, turn him into a figure whose very presence intimidated even the most formidable enemies? We will examine in this video the distinctive power of Marcus Aurelius' motivation and reveal why it alarmed those who attempted to oppose him. Let's delve in. Are you prepared to find the secret origin of his unrelenting will? The mental castle, power of the mind. Marcus Aurelius' best tool wasn't his legions or his sword, rather it was his brains. His mental strength really distinguished him, even if the powers of Rome were great. He grasped something important. A ruler's real power comes not from physical might, but from control over one's own thinking. Admired and feared alike, his unrelenting leadership was based on his capacity to manage his mind and feelings. Aurelius cultivated relentless self-control, even while some of others were pushed by transitory desires or the turmoil of their life. He sharpened his mental clarity every day by ignoring distractions and concentrating only on what he could influence. Impenetrable to the tempests raging outside, he had little fortress of the mind. He accepted everything else with equanimity and adopted the Stoic approach of concentrating only on what he could alter. This intellectual clearness, coupled with his relentless focus, allowed him to be resolute, clear-cut, and unswerving in his judgments. People who crossed him realized that his determination was not quickly damaged. His ideas were honed like the edge of a sword, slicing through question marks. It was this air of mental invincibility, this iron discipline, that demanded respect and produces fear. His adversaries knew his mind could not be overcome, regardless of the chances. Ultimately, though, it was this mental fortress that made Marcus Aurelius unassailable. Unswerving resolve, never sacrificing his ideals. Marcus Aurelius was famous for his ethical clarity. His every decision was guided by a customer whose values were not just a set of ideals, but a strong foundation. Marcus remained resolutely against betraying his beliefs, even if it meant losing everything in a world where power usually demands compromise. This made him spontaneous, a power others never quite saw. Many leaders attempted to compromise their principles for immediate rewards in war, civil strife, and personal crisis. Usually not Marcus. Whereas others could have given in to the pressure of pragmatism, Marcus's relentless dedication to his Stoic ideology kept him anchored. He grasped that real leadership meant not winning at all costs, but rather preserving integrity under every obstacle. Even under formidable pressure, his unwillingness to stray from his principles made him a daunting leader. His troops admired him since they knew he would not falter in his choices, whatever they may be. And his opponents were scared of him since they knew his ideals were a stronghold, resolute and infallible. They were unable with threats or promises to bend his will. A leader who sticks to their values without wavering becomes a force to be reckoned with. It's not the army that makes the leader, but the strength of their character. In a world where everything can be bought or negotiated, Marcus Aurelius stood as a beacon of consistency and moral strength. His unshakable resolve became his most formidable weapon, more powerful than any army or empire could ever be. The motivation of duty, a higher purpose. Marcus Aurelius didn't lead out of personal ambition or the thirst for glory. His motivation came from a deep, unwavering sense of duty to Rome. Unlike many rulers who sought power for their own gain, Marcus saw his role as emperor as a sacred responsibility. He was not just a leader, he was a servant to the empire, carrying the weight of its survival and prosperity on his shoulders. This sense of duty was what truly set Marcus apart. His dedication to the Roman people and their well-being was more powerful than any desire for personal fame or wealth. He recognized that his actions, whether in battle or governance, affected the future of the empire. His commitment to Rome was not a fleeting ideal, it was a lifelong mission, the motivation of duty, a higher purpose. Marcus Aurelius didn't lead out of personal ambition or the thirst for glory. His motivation came from a deep, unwavering sense of duty to Rome. Unlike many rulers who sought power for their own gain, Marcus saw his role as emperor as a sacred responsibility. He was not just a leader, he was a servant to the empire, carrying the weight of its survival and prosperity on his shoulders. This sense of duty was what truly set Marcus apart. His dedication to the Roman people and their well-being was more powerful than any desire for personal fame or wealth. He recognized that his actions, whether in battle or governance, affected the future of the empire. His commitment to Rome was not a fleeting ideal, it was a lifelong mission. This higher purpose drove him to take extreme actions when necessary, whether it was leading his troops through arduous campaigns or making unpopular decisions for the greater good. Marcus was always willing to sacrifice his personal comfort and reputation for the sake of Rome. His sense of responsibility inspired both loyalty and fear among those who served under him. They knew that he was unwavering in his commitment to Rome, and that made him a formidable force. A leader motivated by duty rather than personal gain is a leader whose resolve cannot be shaken. Marcus Aurelius's motivation was not about what he could gain, but about what he could give to others. His leadership was forged in the fire of selflessness, and it is this very quality that made his motivation truly formidable. Relentless self-improvement, the true source of his power. Marcus Aurelius understood that leadership wasn't a one-time achievement, it was a constant process of evolution. To lead effectively, he knew he had to be relentless in his pursuit of self-improvement. This was not just about acquiring more knowledge or mastering tactics, but about continuously refining his character, mind, and ability to serve his people. Aurelius made self-reflection an integral part of his daily routine. His journal was not merely a record of events, but a tool for introspection. Through this practice, he assessed his thoughts, actions, and emotions, striving to better understand his weaknesses and strengths. This ritual allowed him to maintain clarity of mind, emotional control, and unwavering discipline. What set him apart was his refusal to stagnate. While many leaders grow comfortable in their power, believing their wisdom is sufficient, Marcus was ever vigilant in his pursuit of personal growth. He understood that complacency could lead to downfall. Every challenge he faced, every failure he encountered, was an opportunity to learn and grow stronger. Aurelius's commitment to constant self-improvement ensured that he was always evolving as a leader. His resilience and mental acuity were constantly sharpened, allowing him to make tough decisions with wisdom and precision. It was this continuous growth that made him not just a feared emperor, but one whose leadership stood the test of time. The greatest leaders are those who never stop improving. Marcus Aurelius exemplified this relentless drive, and it was this unyielding pursuit of self-mastery that made him one of history's most formidable and respected rulers. Fearless in the face of adversity, turning challenges into motivation. Marcus Aurelius was unshaken by adversity. Where others saw obstacles as insurmountable, he saw them as opportunities for growth. His Stoic mindset allowed him to transform every challenge into a chance to strengthen his resolve. During difficult times, Marcus didn't falter. Instead, he drew motivation from hardship, understanding that each trial was a test of his character. Adversity wasn't something to be feared, it was something to embrace. This mindset made him unstoppable. While others might have been defeated by setbacks, Marcus used them to sharpen his focus and fuel his determination. Every difficulty he faced only deepened his commitment to his higher purpose and strengthened his unyielding will. It was this ability to turn adversity into motivation that made Marcus Aurelius such a formidable and respected leader, fearless in the face of challenges, driven by the power of resilience. Marcus Aurelius's motivation wasn't just a personal asset, it was a weapon that inspired awe and fear in all who faced him. It was the combination of a strong mind, unwavering resolve, sense of duty, constant self-improvement, and fearlessness in adversity that made him more feared than any army. His leadership wasn't reliant on physical might, but rather the inner strength of his character and unwavering sense of purpose. He was unstoppable because he tapped into something much more powerful than external force, an unshakable belief in his higher calling and a relentless pursuit of growth. This kind of motivation isn't reserved for emperors. It's a force that can be harnessed by anyone willing to put in the work, and it has the power to transform not only your life, but also the lives of those around you. Will you take inspiration from Marcus Aurelius and develop a motivation that no one can challenge? Will you stand firm, rise above adversity, and achieve greatness? Subscribe for more powerful Stoic wisdom to help you unlock your true potential and rise to face the challenges ahead with confidence and strength.